Can you identify any of these upcoming international scenes? Let me know in the comments. All right, and we just wrapped up an international cycle. You saw episode 275, obviously, the German headliner, which I think is a very underrated scene. And in fact, the video did not get as many views as I thought it would. I've always loved that Starks team scene. So you probably just saw the re-upload of Abigail Breslin. That video had been blocked in the French territory, so I wanted to get that back out, recut. We have a new cycle of international scenes coming. Before we get to that, we're going to get the true recap of episode 28, which will be recap 22. If you remember, about 6 weeks ago, I uploaded that video. It was called episode 28 / recap 22. I told you guys that that was not a true recap. The only thing different was the new commentary with the ladies, and it was just a re-edit, to recut episode 28 with new commentary. So I wanted to get a real recap out that has a whole new recording. That new recording was done by myself in full HD with all the extra context, and you're going to notice that it is a far different episode. Recap 22 is far different than episode 28. So you're going to want to watch that. Don't sleep on that one. Full HD with that, her in the back seat of the car. It's different. It's much better looking. So check that out. Not that the last footage was bad. It was probably 720, but not as good. So make sure you watch Recap 22. That's what's coming tomorrow, I believe. Maybe the day after, probably tomorrow. Good stuff there. Our next international cycle, if you look at the last one, what did we do? We had a Bollywood, then we did a German, then we did a British, Russian, and then headliner was another German, and then the recap 22 for that cycle is also Russian. Not every cycle is going to have a recap. In fact, the next one is probably going to be the last one that has one for a while. But let's talk about that next international cycle. What do we got coming? Some good stuff. It's going to kick off with a Ukrainian scene. It's a special edit job just for us here. Thanks to Blow the Lights for that. It's a great damsel. Scenes themselves aren't that incredible, but the damsel is phenomenal. Then we got, what do we have? A Turkish scene coming second in the cycle. Is it a 2-star scene? It's not bad, but we expect so much more from the Turks. So we got a Turkish scene. It's a hostage exchange. It's not bad. Then we got a classic German scene with some rather unique bondage in it, for sure. And it actually stars the damsel you already saw in episode 275. So that'll be interesting. That was a German scene. The third episode of the new cycle is also a German scene, German actress. It's interesting. It's a classic. The fourth scene in the cycle is a Scottish scene, so staying in the UK like we did with Vexed. However, this is a long-running Scottish show, so that should probably give it away. A good, really good scene, fairly short. The damsel isn't that special, but the scene itself is pretty good. The headliner is a Greek scene. I will tell you that. The recap, the next recap, recap 23, is also a Greek scene. So the Greeks are headlining the next cycle and getting the recap. I'm very excited. I think I'm more excited for the recap than the headlining scene, because it will be the first time ever that the recap, that the footage in there is shown in full HD. And it's a great scene. We already covered it. I mean, it's a recap, so you can find it in the KK playlist right now. Just nowhere near this type of quality. I'm very excited for that recap. It's one of my favorite scenes ever, actually. So we've got some exciting stuff coming up here. Check out Caught in Traffic if you haven't yet. Head over to Patreon. I'm working on remastering the digital stuff. Been working a lot on all the new KKs. We got a lot of KKs coming. So this will be our second international cycle, and I think we're going to do 2 more, probably. Maybe more than that. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff I'm planning, and you guys have been sending in the requests, and we're finding some really good stuff that I just didn't know about. I mean, I learn like a new DID scene every day, believe it or not. Me, learning a new one every day. But, you know, some of these international ones are just off the charts. Um, so we got some good stuff coming. I think you guys will enjoy the next cycle. Is it better than the last one? The last cycle was very unique and had a lot of real original stuff, like the wheelchair and the bride and the prison break, and then that Bollywood scene. The whole thing's just weird. Really, the Starks team, the headliner, was the only like traditional, classic, typical, you know, hostage standoff DID kind of stuff you would expect. Um, that's one of my favorite scenes. I think I mentioned in the commentary, that's actually, the Starks team scene is actually what I showed Sasha when I was interviewing her before we ever made Kidnapped. I said, hey, would you play this part? And I showed her Catch a Stud in Starks team there, you know, on the docks with the gun on her. Yeah, good stuff there. I think you guys are going to like these upcoming cycles. Like I said, if you've got good international scenes, send them to me, email them, let me know. You know, I'm always picking new stuff here, trying to get some good stuff out there, some unique stuff. I would say that this next cycle, the scenes are more classic, more classic DID than the last one. Less originality and more just return to classic DID style stuff. So that's what we got coming. Thanks for the support. Appreciate it, and I will be talking to you guys soon.